Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Melo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
To the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Yes, sir. We back. It's your favorite sports show, Gas presents sports for the culture. I'm your host tonight at Bryce XXV Double I. As always, I'm joined by the dream team. I'm gonna start with my man on the top right. Introduce yourself. That's you.
Well,
G.
you're talking to me. I'm not. It's been a while.
lost the sense of direction.
I'm so lost. Right
That
now.
word don't got him fucked up.
Word don't got me fucked up, ladies and gentlemen. No, but I'm only here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is not gonna be a whole Redskins, aka Commie Pod, because we know the girl to the left of me gets a little quiet and humble when he got these two commies telling him how to run the show.
Yeah, man. I feel a lot of hate coming from you, G. You gotta lay off the hate, man.
Never. I'm not like you liberals. You gotta be loving all and caring for everybody, man. Fuck all that shit. I embrace the hate. I bathe in it.
Little do you know you were a DEI hire to the show. Top left.
Hey,
Oh, man.
what up, man? Scruff, man. You feel me? I ain't even going, I ain't even going to partake in that, G. You talking crazy. But, I got a little hoodie on today. Y'all say the only way out is through. And that's pretty much accurate how it's going to be for this. Because this NFC East team is going to Super Bowl. That's a certainty.
That is a certainty. And we will find out which one here in the next week. Bottom left, introduce yourself, sir.
Yes, sir. You know who it is. You know what time it is, man. Your boy Young Rome 22 on all socials as always. Here yet again for another great episode of Sports for the Culture. My Commanders have made it to the NFC Championship. Not even I thought they would go this far. So, we're in uncharted territory right now, but I'm feeling great about it. Like Scruff said, we got Philly this week. Look, man, this is the stuff dreams are made of, man. They used to call us the NFC least. Now look at us. We got the Commanders, Philly, winners going into the Super Bowl. What they got to say about us now? You know what I'm saying? The NFC East standing tall, except for the Giants. I don't know. Y'all kind of holding us back right now. Gee, y'all got to get it together. I'm glad you were able to make the show, though. At first, we weren't sure if you're going to make it. A Giants fan on a podcast right now with Commanders fans and the Eagles fan. I know you're sick. But hold it strong for your people today.
I'm mad that we beat you fuckers last year twice, giving y'all the second pick, and then the cocksucking GM doesn't want to sign Saquon Barkley. Let him go to Philly. This is just, I think I'm a masochist at this point. I'm just here to suffer. I'm here,
So in many
here
ways,
with the bullshit.
Your team's inability contributed to our success. Right? Is basically what you're saying?
That's what I'm hearing.
I think that's where it hurt. That's where you got to get to the.
My man done picked up vaping and everything. It's been a rough week for G. I've seen that man with a vape, bro.
You got to get to the
extra nicotine, bro. It's rough out here, bro.
I can't even smoke weed no more. I'm just all fucked up, man.
Hey, better that vape than the crack pipe, I guess. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's start off with a quick recap, bro, because I wanna get y'all's takes on these games that happened. So let's start in order. Obviously, we had the Texans and the Chiefs kick it off, and that game was
so weird.
It was just like the most predictable shit ever, bro. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, a part of me felt bad for the Texans because I felt like they were getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? The script writers stuck to the script. The refs had the script, and they made sure that the script was executed. Some very, very suspect calls. And it was just clear who the NFL wanted to come out on top, in my opinion. But Pat Mahomes gets it done once again. What are y'all's quick reactions to that game? Rome, starting with you.
I mean, my quick reaction is you kind of called it last week. Like, it was kind of a close game, and then the Chiefs kind of pulled it, or maybe it was Scruff. Somebody on the show said, that it would appear like the Texans had a chance, but in the end, they really had no shot at all. And in the end of that game, yeah, they had no shot. Like, and you could kind of tell that was kind of the vibe, even when it was close and it felt like they kind of had a shot. To your point, Bryce, it was like they would get a BS call, and you just kind of be like, man, like no matter what they do, something's going to go against them, and they're just not going to win this game. Um, but I think the Texans also showed me something in this playoff run that they had, and that's that their defense is a serious threat. And I think they will be moving forward. I think the Texans defense kept them in that game. I think it could have got real ugly and it could have got real bad had the Texans defense not been able to apply the pressure for the whole game. Um, but yeah, my quick takeaway though is the Chiefs are still king. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, that's still an unstoppable duo, especially when it matters most. And I'm very interested to see if Josh Allen can continue to lead the Bills on this charge and maybe get one on the Chiefs in the playoffs for once.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you're right, man. The Chiefs did pull away, but god damn were they aided by the refs. Those were two of the worst roughing the passer calls. I guess the joint on Will Anderson, you could kind of rationalize it if you squint your eyes hard enough. But the joint on my man Toho was crazy, bro. Like, bro, like I don't know where the refs came up with that one. But I'm with you, wrong. To Scruff's point last week, it was the Chiefs looked like they were in it, but they never really had a shot. And at the end of the day, they needed to do more on offense to get that job done. And maybe it was, all the injuries that they've suffered over this season kind of prohibited that. G, what was your reaction from that game?
I'm getting tired of hearing this criticism of the ref. So we all of a sudden going to forget about home field advantage. Like the reason why you want to win games, the reason why you want to play in the playoffs in your home stadium. Like, come on, man. All of a sudden we're just going to not like when you go into your opponent's field, like the refs are going to be a little bit more lenient to the home field. That's why they're there. They're there just to make sure, hey, if they see a little bit more, they say they don't want to call it in a certain way from the beginning. And every team knows the ref squad that's going there. They're like more to like, let's say the Bills and the Ravens games where they're letting you play. You know what kind of squad of refs you're gonna be in the field with. And these guys weren't having it. Like a lot of I get one of the two calls, but not the one that didn't look like Patrick Mahomes got hit. It looked like it, but he didn't. But you need a slow motion to see that. Like in real time, it looked like he got hit. And then when you see him replay, you're like, oh, okay, he didn't get hit. But at that point, the refs already threw the flag. And that's the NFL's fault for not letting coaches challenge certain defensive penalties. And that's until coaches are allowed to start challenging certain flags. And then at that point, we could just, all right. But regardless or not, it's still the Chiefs. Like at one point, C.J. Stroud looked good like he did last year, and then he digressed again. He tried to come back, but he digressed. But besides that, I just hated the last play that killed my ticket. They covered the 9.5 just for the most random. That's the only thing that grinds my gear about that game was the Chiefs covered the 9.5 just to get the most randomest safety in this fucking world because they blocked the kick. So I'm looking. If you're looking at your ticket, you're like, yes, I got it. It killed all my tickets. If there's anything that game taught me is I'm not betting no more. I'm not betting for the rest of the time, for the rest of these playoffs, because that shit literally killed my ticket. The first time the Chiefs were going to cover a spread higher than 6, just for them to give it to Houston.
That shit, that cover was insane, bro. Like, and it made you feel like the refs, the Chiefs, they were all in it together, bro. I don't know, bro. Like in Vegas,
let's not forget Vegas. Vegas was in there. He gave him the call, like, yo, all the parlays are with you guys covering the spread.
they were all in cahoots, bro. Because that shit was ridiculous, man. Scruff, what was your quick takeaway from that game?
Yeah, I mean, y'all pretty much nailed it on the head, man. But I called it last week, man. This is exactly what I forecasted. But it was like worse than I thought. You know, like it was like exactly what I thought it was, but it actually turned out worse than I thought. Like all the they just playing in our faces at this point. Cause like, yo, like what? that punt at the end was outrageous, and like some of the shit that was happening, like some of the touchdown passes, I'm just like are guys just falling? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like so. I don't know, man. It's a very strange game. Not a fan.
Extremely, bro. It was insane, man. And I'm with you, bro. Like the script writers had their hands all over that game, man. But let's move on to the next game from Saturday. It was the Commanders versus the Lions. Big win for the Commanders. I mean, I don't think anyone foresaw 45 points going on the board. If I were to tell you that one team scored 45, you probably would have told me it was the Lions. But the Commanders win 45-31 on the heels of 5 turnovers by the Lions and an excellent performance from the young signal caller, Jaden Daniels. Ron, I'm going to start with you for reaction on this game, man. What were your takeaways?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was not that surprised, right? Like, one thing we know, Jared Goff turns the ball over. You know, everybody said, oh, well, you know, they're going to kill you with Gibbs, Montgomery, which is a fair take because the Commanders' run defense isn't all that. However, Ben Johnson, and I think it was apparent with his play calling, was feeling himself in that game. Maybe he had a point to prove. Maybe he knew he was already going to be with the Bears, whatever it was. But the way he was calling plays aggressively, like, you know, he had Pat Mahomes and not Jared Goff. Like, he wanted to prove, like, oh, I made the right decision not going to Washington. Well, maybe I'm wrong on that front. Maybe I'm not. But from my standpoint, they were way too aggressive on offense. Once you get to Jared Goff, he turns the ball over. We know this. Jared Goff is simply Sam Darnold with confidence. That's all Jared Goff is, and that's all that he was this season. And when he played Washington, he started to lose that confidence. When he saw Jaden Daniels on the other side of the field getting scoring position every single time that he touched the ball, Jared Goff started to press. Ben Johnson started to call wonky plays. Calling a trick play, a wide receiver pass down 10 in a divisional round is insane. To me, that it makes it questionable for you to be a head coach. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm looking back at that play calling and I'm not as excited as I would have been. So my takeaway, man, is one, Jaden Daniels is the greatest rookie quarterback of all time. There's no question. Potentially greatest rookie to play a professional sport ever. That's my first takeaway. My second takeaway is that Jared Goff is exactly who we thought he was. And if the Lions want to get over the hump, they're going to need to do exactly what the Rams did and move on from Jared Goff.
Now, as a fact, bro, Jaden Daniels is definitely the best rookie quarterback of all time. And when we start looking at rookies that have existed in American sports, at least, because, you know, I don't got the files on the best rookie ever in cricket or rugby or, you know, even European football. I don't know who the best rookie was in those sports. But we talk about American sports, the only one I think comes close to Jaden Daniels or Jaden Daniels comes close to is Magic Johnson himself when he decided to put himself as center and win his first championship as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one that I think comes close. But I agree with you there, man. Spectacular performance. And we're gonna get in. After we wrap this game up, we're gonna get into a little bit of that Ben Johnson talk too, because I got a couple questions for y'all regarding that. But Scrub, what did you think about the Lions Commanders game? You, if I remember correctly, predicted the Lions victory, I believe. And here you are. So let's hear what you got to say about that.
Yeah, man. You know, I had to predict the Lions victory, man, because that would seem like the most probable outcome, you know, going into the game. But I did say some things. If I do recall, my memory serves me correctly. I did say, like, there's a few things that could go in the Commanders' favor, which was if the game was a back and forth game and the Commanders were within striking distance, which they were. You know what I mean? And then when the real tipping point was the second thing that I said, which was like, if Jared Goff wants to have a turn, you know, there wants to be some turnovers in the game. And I feel like the turnovers were what kind of was the difference, the true difference of the game, because y'all were pretty much back and forth. But the turnovers were the true difference in the game, at least the way I watched it. But, you know, I think the Lions, it's a funny thing, man. I feel like belief, you know, I feel like that's the foundation of building anything. You got to have belief, right? So, like, I think sometimes people get real jaded You know what I mean? Like we kind of see that, like, you know, the next box over to the right. You know, people get jaded, and you know, and that's what happens, man. Like the Lions, man. You know, I've shitted on the Lions in the past. You know, a long life of being shitted on is being a Lions fan. You know, they've lost and been some shit forever. And like, you know, the fans are like, I've been there, man, because you know the Lions are a lot like the Eagles were before the Eagles won anything. Like not as bad, but similar. You know, where you're just like, you got those, you know, Bryce knows those old fans that are like, you know, like, they always blow it at the end, you know, man, they're gonna let you down. That's all they're gonna do is break your heart, you know, like those fans. You got to get those fans out the building. But those are the main guys that are buying up those seats because like they believed, kinda, but like it was false bravado, you know, like it wasn't real. Because like third quarter, when shit started to go in the opposite way, you looked at all the faces of people in the crowd and they tell you everything that you needed to know. Those people didn't really believe, and I guess the team didn't really believe either. You know what I mean?
I was about to say blaming the fans on this loss is crazy.
No, but it starts there. It starts there. It's the aura. It's energy, man. It's all energy, bro. Real talk. One thing I could say about Washington, though, is there's something going on there. They do believe. They believe in Jaden Daniels. They believe that he has something special. You have a unique alignment. Something unique is happening on the 25th. All the planets are aligning at the same time or some shit, right? But, you know, that's kind of what happened for Washington, which was the most important, at least to me, the most fundamental important thing in building a football team: your ownership, your head coach, your GM, and your quarterback. You got that in alignment, you got a good franchise. Washington didn't have that in alignment. But right now, it kind of looks like they do. So that means a lot. Lions don't have that because Jared Goff is Jared Goff. It's like we said. But yeah, I think that's what, you know, the Commanders, they got a good thing going, for sure. And Detroit they just didn't believe. And Washington, there's the term "team of destiny" has been thrown around in this area. Was what, you know, so just because that's being talked about is like, you know, there's some belief to that. That's a very prophetic statement, you know. And these people out here, they need something to believe in. Like, you know, y'all been humble for a long time, so I get where the energy's coming from. That's good energy.
I mean, that is an interesting take because like one could say the same thing about the Lions, and they probably waited longer. They have waited longer than Washington, so it's an interesting point there. I feel like,
but the difference is the belief is true. You guys actually believe, and they did.
Yeah, I disagree with you because I was watching a lot of these Lions pregame hype videos, a lot of these Lions radio broadcasts. Them folks believe, man. But you know what it was? You know what happened to him? JD5 happened to him, man. That boy Jaden Daniels was the best player on the field that day. In a game where it may have been an option for him not to be the best player if the Lions played their cards right. But let me get the G, man. I know you're depressed, man. You hate to see the Commanders do well. You hate even more to see the Eagles do well. But tell me what you thought about that Commanders-Lions game and what are your early takeaways. I know you bet the over. I hope you bet the over. You've been talking about that all week.
I told you that the whole week. I even called you. Like, I take the over because I just didn't know how the game was going to play. The only thing that you can't take nothing away from your rookie quarterback. But you also just can't say the Lions just lost this game. Like, we're not going to forget about all the defensive players that were hurt going into the game. And you had the better offensive coordinator with the better quarterback that just played a lot better. But when you come to quarterback, that's what you need in this league. Clearly, if you have a hot quarterback, you're gonna go somewhere far. But I don't know. For me, I still consider Patrick Mahomes' first MVP his rookie year because that's when he officially started and played. Not that one game that he played, and then Alex Smith comes, and then whatever happens with the Chiefs. I actually think Patrick Mahomes' rookie year is his first MVP year, which he played a whole season. But then I digress. But no.
The facts are that this was not his rookie year. But I feel
they give Ben Simmons
I see why he's bringing that. I'm like, why is
Ben
that
Simmons a rookie of the
relevant?
year, so I don't want to hear that shit. Ben Simmons should have never won that rookie of the year. And I was the person who said Ben Simmons should have never won that shit.
I don't want to hear shit about Ben
I don't
Simmons.
hear that shit.
All right.
But you could compare this to one of those Big Ben. I like to say that this is like the Big Ben when he went to the AFC. Yeah. Remember Big Ben? Big Ben.
Nah, Big Ben was nice though. He was nice.
Big Ben his rookie season was carried by a defense and an aging running back. Like, it's not even close to the same. We're not comparing Big Ben's rookie season to Jaden's. We're not comparing CJ Stroud's rookie season to Jaden. Like, we're done comparing anybody's rookie season to Jaden. Nobody's rookie season has been anything close to
not one.
Because of what you said.
Big Ben threw for 2,600 yards his rookie season. That's why. All right, bro.
Yeah, statistically, it's not the same, bro.
I don't want to hear that bullshit, man. This is
I remember Big Ben's season very well, bro. He was impressive for a rookie, especially at the time, bro. But it's not even close to what Jaden's doing right now. The Commanders don't punt.
And they're winning. That's the difference,
bro. No turnovers, one punt through the playoffs, bro. Name a quarterback, rookie or not, who's doing something like that. Every time, you know why you want to hit the over for the Commanders game? Because every time Jaden Daniels is on the field, the Commanders are going to get at least 3 points. More than likely going to get 7. So that's why you're hitting the over every time, bro.
No,
you can't name a rookie quarterback.
Because the Lions don't punt, and they've been known not to punt all year long. That's what I was telling Bryce, this game they're not going to punt all game. I was on the phone with Bryce.
Pull it up. Who punted more times? Who punted more times Sunday?
I don't remember.
Or Saturday night. Who punted more times?
The Commanders only punted one time, if I remember correctly. But the thing about what G is saying, and I get it, man. You want to throw Big Ben into the conversation, but let me just give you a little bit of facts, right? Of quarterbacks that start in a conference championship game, right? We about to run through them. Rookie quarterbacks. There's been 6 of them. You got Sean King. His defense was ranked 3rd. You got Big Ben. His defense was ranked 1st. You got Joe Flacco. His defense was ranked 3rd. You got Mark Sanchez. His defense was ranked 3rd.
Mark Sanchez went there?
Yeah, his defense was ranked 3rd. And you know who else you got? You got Brock Purdy. His defense was ranked 1st. And then you got Jaden Daniels, whose defense is ranked 18th in the league, bro. Like, it's really no comparison at all. What the kid is doing is unbelievable. But, some of my takeaways from the game, because I got to be objective as possible, although I am a Commanders fan, right? I got to be objective as possible here. And a couple things. First thing was, boy, am I happy David Montgomery suited up. All right, because every David Montgomery touch just meant that one less Jahmyr Gibbs touch. All right. 2, shout out to Ben Johnson for being an idiot. All right, because Jahmyr Gibbs averaged 10 yards a carry and only ended with 13 carries. Thank you, Ben Johnson. We appreciate that. Another reason I got to thank Ben Johnson. Appreciate you for letting Jameson Williams throw that fly. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for putting the ball in your receiver's hands to throw a 40-yard bomb. That was foolish. With the game on the line, you got your receiver throwing a pass. The same receiver who was humping the ground. This guy is clearly a bad decision maker. All right, on that touchdown, and then he gets to throw the ball later in the game. It's crazy. Foolish, man. It's foolish. But the Lions have had so much success as of late that their coordinators have been propelled to this level, right? I'm not just talking about Ben Johnson. I'm talking about Aaron Glenn too, because for everything we can say about Ben Johnson, I can look over at Aaron Glenn and be like, dog, you let him score 45. All right, we take 7 away, right, because of the pick 6. We still talking about 38 points. What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? And now those 2 coaches are the ones that are being elevated as the next man up for these head coaching jobs, right? Those are the 2 in line. Obviously, Ben Johnson's already signed with the Bears, and it's looking like Aaron Glenn's locked into this job with the Jets or may move on to the Saints. So before we move on from this game, I got to ask y'all fellas, if you had to choose one of these coordinators to be your next coach, are you taking Ben Johnson or are you taking Aaron Glenn? G, I'm going to start with you.
Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn did a lot for the little that he had on the field, at least when it came to his starters. Ben Johnson had all his starters, and they couldn't keep up. And then Jared Goff, I mean, do we put poo on Jared Goff now? Is he going to be
That's the
that kind of
question. Is
guy?
Jared Goff just a product of Ben Johnson scheming him up? And if that's the case, I can see someone leaning towards Ben Johnson. But I like your point about Aaron Glenn, man. He did a lot with a little down the stretch. Ron, what you think about that one?
Most people lean towards the off.
Before Ben. So let's not sit here and act like Jared Goff was a nobody, and then he got this offensive coordinator.
I mean, we will sit here and act like that.
Literally, we with Sean McVay, probably the greatest offensive mind in the league. So, let's not act like he wasn't in probably the best situation that he could be in.
Yeah, because remember, he's a part of the greatest football game I ever remember watching. To this day, that Chiefs and Rams game is, in my mind, the best football game I ever seen in my life.
What I remember is the Rams getting to the Super Bowl, losing, and then shipping Jared Goff off because they felt like he was the reason they lost. What I remember is the great mind of Sean McVay, to Scruff's point, saying, not even I can get it done with Jared Goff. Give me Matthew Stafford, who's older.
Wait,
that's what I remember.
So
Jared Goff at the end of the day is not. He's Kirk Cousins, bro. He's not getting you over that hump. He's not winning you the game. He's shrinking in the biggest moments. And we know this of Jared Goff at this point. Surrounded with talent, great offensive coordinator, and what did he give you against the 18th ranked defense, the below average defense, where he's throwing pick sixes. He's you know what I'm saying, throwing multiple picks at that to rookie. I don't know, bro.
So who are you going with? Who are you going with? Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson?
Oh yeah, your original question. I'm going with Aaron Glenn. Ben Johnson to me, man, got way too cute. Everybody leans towards the offensive coordinators over defensive coordinators. I'm not like most people in that regard. I think a lot of these OCs, man, they get too cute. They want to throw these trick plays or scheme up. And to the credit of Ben Johnson, there was plays that they ran that I had never even seen. That flea flicker, flip back thing, or tight end screen. I don't know. They did a couple things where I was genuinely impressed as a guy who watches a lot of football. But I just don't know how well that translates. Is Ben Johnson going to be a strong leader in Chicago? Because you can scheme up some stuff doesn't necessarily mean you can lead grown men in the battle. That's what Dan Campbell did. That's what Aaron Glenn has been known to be able to do. So for me, if I'm looking at a head coach, I'm looking more at the defensive side, because those typically tend to be the guys that can motivate the team and get them ready to play, as opposed to just a guy that can scheme some stuff up. Because you can give me the best scheme, but if you're not gonna convince me that I can go out there and stop a Saquon Barkley, then it don't matter if I'm in the right position.
All right, Scrub, what do you think between Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson? Who's a better candidate?
I don't love either too much, but if I had to pick one and support the candidacy, I'm going with Ben Johnson for a few reasons. He did draw up some shit, cannot deny that. He drew up some shit, but it's with Jared Goff we're talking about here. Now he was selective, right? I like people that are selective, take their time to make decisions, respect that. He decided to wait for the right opportunity, and he's choosing this opportunity, which makes me feel like it's calculation. It's calculated. You're doing it with Caleb Williams, who was the number one pick, who many said, pundits, that said that he was, generational talent, and yet people are saying, maybe he let down the expectations this season, but it's only 1 year removed from that. So if you're the offensive guru that you are, give me the weapon. Because you get to argue that he didn't have that in Detroit. And he did all that with Jared Goff, who, we talked about. We poked holes in his credentials many times. So what is he? Where's Jared Goff? High mid, as I would normally say. But yeah, Caleb Williams, that could be a situation. It could work. So, I mean, I think he's got a good chance. So if he is offensive guru, we will find out.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think I kind of lean towards Ben Johnson as well. Although I think I'm out on both of those guys as head coaches because, like, for everything that Ben Johnson did, all the foolish mistakes he made, he definitely is a hell of a play schemer. You know what I'm saying? Play creator. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to run with point. I'm not sure he's going to be a leader of men. And some of these things that I've seen from him, like the way he handled the Washington situation last year, apparently like canceling mid-flight, things like that are character flaws to me. And then if I look at Aaron Glenn, like as much as I want to like Aaron Glenn as a coordinator, bro, all he does is blitz, bro. And at no point did he make an adjustment, bro. It was like I felt like there were adjustments to be made. I felt like the Lions should have got out of those blitz heavy packages, started to drop a few more in zone, get out of that man scheme. But they were determined to stick with that, and they got burned up because of it. The screen pass to Terry McLaurin is a perfect example, right? You catch him in man, and you catch them uneven numbers. They don't have enough players on one side, so even numbers on one side of the field. Throwing right to Terry, he's got a one-on-one matchup if he beats the guy, it's a touchdown, right? And I just felt like the Lions should have made more adjustments, and I thought it was a winnable game for the Lions if they made a few adjustments. Or maybe not a winnable game, but like a more interesting game, a game that could have came down to the last play. And I felt like we were kind of robbed of that, seeing Jaden do a game-winning drive on the Lions because the Lions were just so bad at making adjustments. And,
Bryce said we were robbed of watching Jaden steal the joy out of the Lions fans.
Real
Like
shit
he
though,
steals
man.
the joy
Like
out of
that's really how our games are supposed to go against these good teams. Like we're supposed to go down to the wire and winning on a last second drive. We're not supposed to be blowing nobody. We're not supposed to be blowing the Lions out,
To your Aaron Glenn point, man, and not to get two X's and O's here, but like that's one thing I've noticed. And maybe teams will start to get more hip to this next year, but a lot of defensive coordinators are intent on blitzing Jaden, and I get it because he's a rookie quarterback. The thought process is probably force him into making a quick decision, a bad decision. But he's proven time and time again that his best quality is to make the right decision. And if you blitz and you're going to be a man coverage, that means your DB's got their back turned. If the blitz doesn't get home, Jaden's going to kill you. He's going to get 10, 15 with his legs, or he's going to find the open receiver for 40, 50 yards. So I'm interested to see the Eagles. Honestly, who have played Jaden pretty well this season, haven't blitzed them nearly as much as other teams have. A lot of the teams that have gotten burned by Jaden, to Bryce's point, were intent on staying in the blitz packages, and it just didn't work out. So maybe the league will catch on to that next season, and we'll see them blitz Jaden less. But teams have been getting burned by the blitz.
For sure. Jaden is ultimately prepared for every situation, which is what's so impressive about him. But let's move on to Sunday. Definitely some couple wild games on Sunday, man. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. We had Eagles and Rams. And that was a great game, man. And damn, bruh. If the good mister didn't call this, man, I told y'all early in the season, the one team that everybody should be fearing was the Rams. And they gave the Eagles a run for their money to their very last offensive play, which was a very errant throw by Matt Stafford. If Matt Stafford just gives a decent throw on that pass, I think it was to Puka, or it was I think it was to Kupp. Kupp was in the corner, about like the 5, maybe 2, 3, 4 yard line, and Stafford just throws it over his head instead of giving him a playable ball. But that's a playable ball, bro. We having a totally different conversation right now, and we're having a conversation about how the Eagles blew that game versus the Rams. And the Rams were a dangerous, dangerous ass team, bro. In fact, as I was watching that Rams-Eagles game, I literally came to the conclusion that I would rather play the Eagles than the Rams. And it's not even, I shouldn't say it's not close, but it's not all that close for me. I love the Eagles matchup for my Commanders way more than I like that Rams matchup because Sean McVay can scheme it up, and he was scheming it up even in the snow. Keep in mind, Matt Stafford has an abysmal record in the snow. I believe it's something like 1-6 all time, 1-8. Yeah, 1-8 all time in the snow. So you already know you're getting the worst version of him in that game. So the fact that he was able to hang in there, I don't know. That's interesting to say the least. But the Eagles pulled it out. Saquon Barkley was spectacular once again, and they are becoming a team, in my opinion, where it's stop the run at all costs and make Jalen Hurts beat you with his arm. But hey, end of the day, Eagles got the job done. Couple fluke turnovers, but it was one of those games. And in the snow, I mean, the team that turns the ball over the least wins, and that was the Eagles in that game. So let's get your reaction, Scruff. We start with you. Eagles, Rams. What were your takeaways?
Just kind of how I laid it out, to be honest. Which was, Eagles offensive line against the defensive line. Them boys, the finesse boys, going against some real, as y'all would say, some real hogs. You know what I'm saying? It's a real serious stuff going on with that old line, bro. And the holes was crazy, man. Saquon had plenty of room to do what he had to do, which was much just like the first game. And just like I said in the first game, Jalen Carter was going to wreak havoc, and havoc was wreaked. You know what I'm saying? And he had one of the most crucial plays in the game. So the big players made the big plays. And then shout out to my guy Jalen Perks, as they call him on the internet. You feel me? Because he got hurt, and then it was looking for a second. Like, damn, he all right? But then he interviewed him after the game and shit. He was looking like, my boy was feeling good. They must have gave him that good dope. Finished that game off strong. But you know what I'm saying? He did his thing. But yeah, ultimately, it came down to the last play, right? It came down to the defense holding it down. And that's one thing about Philly. I will say that it's a game, keep your heart, keep your heart, you know what I'm saying? Keep you on your toes a little bit. But at the end of the day, like the defense, I feel comfortable in those games because I feel good about our defense, right? I feel good about our corners. I feel good about, our coverage, our team, our pass rush. Like, I feel like we're going to get, if it comes down to getting a stop, we could do that. You know what I mean? I feel very confident about that. So, even though the game was close, I think we had it under control.
I don't agree with that. I don't think y'all had it under control. It looked like y'all was about to lose the game in the last few seconds until Matt Stafford airmailed a pass. But, I feel you as far as like your O-line, playing that pivotal, that being the pivotal game changer, if you will, right? It really seemed like the holes were definitely there for Saquon Barkley. But again, the passing game is questionable, if you ask me. And I wonder if that comes back to haunt the Eagles at some point during this playoff run. Rome, what were your takeaways from that game?
I mean, my takeaways was, much of what I saw from Philly is much of what I expected to see the moment they got Saquon, right? They got it to Scuff's point. They have a strong offensive line. And I mean, Saquon is like damn near unstoppable all season to me. Strong case that he could be the league's MVP. I can say a lot about Philly, man, but I think what it comes down to at the end of the day is, can your team stop Saquon? Because even though, and you made some solid points, Bryce, the Rams fought back. But I kind of agree with Scruff here, man. The Eagles were in control of this game. I kind of called it a little bit prematurely because when Saquon broke that run, I just didn't see a Rams team that could really stop the Eagles unless the Eagles wanted to be stopped. Matthew Stafford, he started airing it out a little bit. The Eagles secondary, I think, can be got. Jalen Carter is a dog on defense. I think he's going to be a problem for sure next week. But as far as the Eagles, man, I think they're going to go as far as Saquon could take them. And Saquon might be able to take them all the way. I don't think that's a unreasonable thought. So I personally blame the Giants GM for all this.
Interesting. See, I kind of viewed the game like on the opposite end. Like through three quarters, I was like, the Rams are in a really good place to win this game. And considering that Matt Stafford is 1-8 in snow games, I was like, man, the Eagles better put something together, which they did. So shout out to them for getting the job done. Eagles, Rams, takeaways.
Saquon Barkley, look like Saquon Barkley, man. That game, this is a Saquon Barkley playoff game, and that's what we got to see. A game that you just needed one player, like what y'all said earlier about Jaden Daniels. This is Saquon Barkley. Get that man an offensive line. It's snowing. And fuck it, wreak havoc.
It's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. That's like the shit that like we was talking about in Madden. You know what I'm saying? Put the Madden snow up on 100. You know what I'm saying? Put it at Eagle Stadium. You know what I'm saying? Playoff game. Saquon. You know? Yeah, I agree, G. It was real football, man. You know what I'm saying? Real football.
I'll tell you one thing. 128 yards not gonna cut it against the Commanders. All right. Saquon Barkley not gonna run 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. So they better find a way to get that passing game going. Because my team coming in to put up 40 on your head. All right. We don't care who the defense is. We don't give a damn.
That's the thing. I don't foresee this game going like.
Hold on, before y'all start talking y'all shit. Go on to the next game. Go ahead. Come on.
We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. We gotta get into this next game because this game was the one. I mean, it was to get your popcorn game, right? It was the game. It was the main event, if we being honest. Like it was the one that, and it was the main event because of the timing of it, right? Sunday night, prime time football, Ravens Bills, man, and man, it lived up to the hype for sure. As we know, crucial drop by Mark Andrews. There's been a lot of conversation around that pass. Was the pass so poor that was the reason for the drop? Or should Mark Andrews have caught it? But Mark Andrews had a costly fumble earlier than that. So that was his only major mistake. But, hey, Lamar Jackson also had a fumble that was very costly. And the Bills, on the other hand, were steady. They were steady. But they weren't great, in my opinion. They were steady, but they weren't great. So let's hear you guys' takeaways. G, I'm starting with you.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm surprised they got away from the run. They had Derrick Henry. I would have used Derrick Henry in the fullback that whole game. And Lamar earlier, 2-3 weeks ago, he was like, his mom told him, yo, just run that shit. I'm surprised he didn't do that. And then, not for nothing, Mark Andrews tried to get cute. He tried to turn a receiver, and then there you go. The defense just punched the ball right out of his hand, and that's how that turnover opened. But then again, wasn't it one of the reasons why Lamar had that fumble was because he tried to run the ball too, or is it because the offensive line just got beat? Can't remember how that played.
Like he got sloppy to me. It's like Lamar got sloppy, kind of slipped out his hands.
See, you could forgive a quarterback when they have those kind of plays in the beginning of the game. It's the second half of the game to see how they start playing, which he had a chance to come back, but I think just that fumble by Mark Andrews kind of cost him a lot, and then he didn't. I'm surprised when it was you got 2 points. Derrick Henry, that shit. Let him run it up the middle. I don't give a fuck. And you live or die by Derrick Henry, and they chose not to live or die, and that's the Ravens' fault. That's the head coach's fault.
Man, I could not agree with you more, G. Y'all know my theory, my postulate. All right, I say if you got to give my guy Derrick Henry 20 plus carries. Really, I say 25. I say you give him 25, you won't ever lose a game. And he ended with 16 carries, bro. Like, what are we doing, Baltimore? What are we doing, bro? Yeah, 16 carries for 84 yards. I mean, that's what, 5.2 yards a carry?
5.3 for you.
How is he not getting the ball more? And towards this, and I guess in the second half, I mean, he was close to breaking the big one. He never broke that long touchdown, but he was about a broken tackle away a few times. And it's like, to not give Derrick Henry at least 20 plus carries is, that's negligence. That's negligence, if you ask me. Scruff, what's your takeaway from that game?
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's a few things, bro. It's like what y'all said. Y'all pretty much nailed it, though, right? Like, they could have ran the ball with Henry from more. Like, there was a lot of times where I was like, okay, it should be a Derrick Henry run right here. And it wasn't. And, good plays were ran, no disrespect. But, really what happened was both teams were kind of just right neck and neck, right? This is what really happened, right? And then Andrews fumbled. Now, Ravens are playing behind the 8 ball, right? That's kind of what happened. And then now they're trying to catch up, and then they had to get that 2-point conversion, and then the motherfucker dropped the shit. You feel me? And let's be honest, bro. That's all on him. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to say that's on Lamar. That's on Andrews, man.
Well, they saying it. A lot of people are saying it's on Lamar.
T was definitely saying it.
Oh, I missed that, but that's crazy because I
Man,
don't see how that's on. How is that on Lamar?
Anybody
This shit
else
hit it.
did.
You know the rule. You know the rule. Hit him in the hands. Hit him in the hands. There's no reason why you should have dropped it. The ball was delivered where it needed to be, bro. So I don't buy into that at all. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to guys like Derrick Henry, Saquon, whatever your team is, man, you got to hit them with the finishing move. It's like Mortal Kombat, or SmackDown, whatever you're talking about. You got to hit him with that people's elbow type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's for them. It's Derrick Henry. You hit him with the fucking battery ram until he fucking breaks one. And that could have been the difference of the game. They wouldn't have had to wait for Andrews to catch some shit at the fucking 2-yard line. Someone's gonna have to pay for this shit, man. I don't know. I don't know. They're not the Eagles, so I don't know how they move out there. But I don't see any world where Mark Andrews is back on this team next year.
I think I'm with you on that, and they would have significant cap savings by cutting them. I think it's around $11 million. Y'all know I've been saying it for a minute. I felt like Isaiah Likely was low key, and I was saying that before Isaiah Likely even exploded on the scene the way he has. I was saying I felt like he was better than Mark Andrews, but now I think that he's going to be thrust into that tight end one position. Ron, what's your takeaway between that Bills and Ravens game? I know you was rooting for Lamar.
Yeah, man, I definitely wanted to see Lamar pull through, bro. People have been debating that pass. I've been looking at it a lot today. I don't think Lamar could the pass have been slightly better potentially, but I think we're splitting hairs. I think it's more than obvious Mark Andrews has to make that catch. I think Mark Andrews himself will tell you he absolutely has to make that catch, but I don't think it's Mark Andrews' fault, and I'm not giving him the lion's share of the blame for this loss. I'm putting it on Lamar, man. I'm putting it on Lamar. And I know that's going to sound crazy. Everybody's going to say, well, he did what he needed to do to bring him back. He scored the touch. They scored the touchdown. He threw the pass for the 2-point conversion. The Ravens, and we said it on the show last week, and I'm pretty sure it was Bryce again. The Ravens had no business even having that game be close. The Bills, the reason Josh Allen is in the MVP conversation is because the Bills are depleted. They don't have the talent around him that the Ravens have. There's no excuse when you have Derrick Henry. And to Bryce's point, man, it's negligent. Only 16 carries. The Ravens should have easily won this game. We shouldn't be up here talking about Lamar losing yet another playoff game. What is he, 3-5 in the playoffs now? If Jaden Daniels wins this game Sunday, he's gonna have just as many wins as Lamar Jackson does in the damn playoffs. That's insane to think about. Like, Lamar has to get it done in the playoffs. There's a real monkey on his back. It's a figure of speech, the chip on the shoulder and all that, but it's very real for Lamar because for some reason when he gets into the playoffs, they're these fumbling balls, he's throwing turnovers, throwing picks that he hasn't thrown all season. Whatever it is, man, they got to get to the playoffs and they got to get right. But I'm not putting this one on Mark Andrews dropping the pass at the end. I'm putting this on Lamar and honestly Harbaugh, because as much smoke as we give Lamar, he's had the same coach the whole time. So somebody's got to figure out how to break through this glass ceiling.
That's facts, bro. That's facts. I mean, I think I lean putting it on Lamar more than I put it on Mark Andrews as well. And even going to that pass, like, I don't think it was a great pass, bro. I mean, he made my man backpedal, made him stumble. Like, the ball was a little low, it was a little wobbly. Like, it was not on target. To Scruff's point, if it hits both of your hands, there's really no excuse as a pass catcher. There's really no excuse. But to put that game on Mark Andrews is tough, right? Mainly because that 2-point conversion only ties the game, right? So we still don't know what happens after that,
bro. But he coughed the ball up crazy the possession before that. So it's like he shot you in the foot and then he fucked it up at the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like even without the 2-point conversion, he coughed it up, and that's what put them behind in the first place. So then he was trying to make up for the fact that he already fucked them over.
Yeah, now I can't argue there. I mean, it's one of them games where it's like, football doesn't come down. A whole football game isn't defined by 2 plays, and there's always a lot of different plays that factor into a win or a loss. And I guess Lamar would be more to blame. But again, I think coaching has got to be on the top of this, right? Because Derrick Henry was not involved enough. And that's another thing too, man. I've been watching like the Ravens a bit, obviously being in the DMV area. I see some of their social media content, right? And I saw last game after the win, like everybody's messaging, bro. Like they're after the wild card round, all the Ravens. I didn't like their messaging, bro. Their messaging was like, "Yo, we still got 3 more." It's like, nah. Good football teams are like, "We got 1 more. It's the next game. That's all that matters." And I felt like the Ravens were constantly like, 3 more, 3 more. But like, nah, bro. Bro. The next game is all that matters. I'm not trying to say that the Ravens look past the Bills, but Scruff, you talked about destiny. I think the Ravens, believe that it was their destiny to win every single game, all 3 games, and they were looking at it as 3 more games instead of this next game is all we got. I think it came back to haunt them a little bit.
Yeah, but I agree. And I was talking to G about this on the phone a couple of days ago. We was talking about Zay Flowers. He was saying, Zay Flowers, you might want to rest him for Kansas City. And I'm like, bro, if Zay Flowers don't play, there's no guarantee that you get to Kansas City. And now what? So now Zay Flowers is going to be nice and healthy, so you go to Cancun.
Nah, facts though. Like, and that was a major loss. But man, Lamar will be back. I think before it's all said and done, Lamar does end up getting the trophy, but it ain't gonna be this year. He got to wait another year just to try. And it's crazy because it was a historic season, and I wonder if the voters are going to use that game as their choice for MVP.
They can't. They already voted.
It's already voted.
It's already done.
But it's going to solidify the choice that they made.
To me, it's like, yo, whoever wins that game, bro, deserves the MVP. So we'll see how it comes out. You know what I'm saying? Who actually gets it? But yeah, they tricked it all. Ravens tricked that one off for sure, man. So let's move on to these matchups, though, man. We got 2 really, really good matchups. One matchup is one we've seen many times before. I'm talking about Bills. I'm talking about Chiefs. That matchup right there is like, man, it's now or never for Josh Allen, in my opinion, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the AFC is deep. The quarterbacks in the AFC is a deep crop. And I really do feel like Josh Allen's got the best opportunity he's ever had to win one, mainly because the Chiefs are in close games week in and week out. And I do feel like it's now or never for Josh Allen. And I'm going to be honest, man. If all things are fair, I'm talking about them refs. I got Josh Allen and the Bills coming out on top in this one. I think this is going to be the year that he finally gets over that Mahomes hump, so to speak, because just like, I don't know, bro. I can see it going different ways, but I feel like Josh Allen's usage right now, the way he's being used is such at an all-time high that he's got the most power in this game. I feel like he's got the most ability to affect the game more than any other single player, and that includes Mahomes. I'm gonna start with you, Scruff. Do you think that the Chiefs dog walk the Bills? Do you think it's another one of those games where the script writers make sure the Chiefs get it done? Or do you think that Josh Allen and the Bills will have something to say?
Nah, it's a little bit of a progression. Like last week was, like I said, Texans had 0 chance to win that game. But in this game, I do feel like the Bills have what I'll call a puncher's chance, which is basically like, Josh Allen got to go crazy Super Saiyan mode. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And he's got to have some beneficial things happen for him to win, like turnovers on the other side. But if I'm being honest, I do know how this game's going to go. And it's only going to go one way, pretty much. It's really going to be Kansas City. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to imagine it happening any other way. So, no, I'm going with Kansas City. This has the potential to be a great matchup. But I think when it comes down to it, it's Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be who's going to get the job done when it really matters the most. And I know Mahomes to do that. So yeah, I think the Chiefs get it. I think Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. I already know it's happening. I already know what's happening.
All right, Scruff sounds like he's locked in to the Chiefs going to the bowl. I feel you though. I feel you though because it's like, what else? What else could happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are the Bills going to make this happen? It doesn't seem that all that likely. But I stick to that point that I think Josh Allen's got the most hold over the game right now, based off based off usage. Rome, I know you're a big Pat Mahomes guy, man. Do you think that this game is an easy? I don't want to say easy game, but do you think it's almost like guaranteed that the Chiefs move on, or do you think the Bills gonna have something to say about it?
I don't think it's guaranteed at all. I kind of felt like the Chiefs were on upset alert last week, but the Texans were a little bit depleted with their injuries on offense. This is a tough one to pick. Can the Bills finally get it done? The Bills have already beat the Chiefs in the regular season. The Bills have done that before and then lost to the Chiefs in the postseason. So the monkey that I was saying is on Lamar's back. There's a little Pat Mahomes monkey on Josh Allen's back as well. And then you add the whole script writers into it. Oh, they got Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark in the press box, and we got to have them win so we can get them on screen more. Josh Allen could simply ask his wife to pull up to the game. She's pretty famous too. She's an actress herself. Maybe she gets a little screen time. Maybe the NFL says, "Hey, let's push a different person into the spotlight this time." So I don't even know how the script writers might go. They might pull a swerve. They might want you thinking that we're going with the Chiefs again, and then swerve you to Josh Allen. T made a great point. Hey man, last week T made the point that the white man is on the street. The white man, hey, he already took out Lamar. Maybe he gets the light skinned cat. I don't know. But hey, if Josh Allen can pull this off, if Josh Allen beats Lamar Jackson, then goes on to beat Pat Mahomes and makes it to the Super Bowl, you won't catch me saying another bad word about Josh Allen. I've been harsh on him on this show. I was harsh on him at the start of his career. He's gotten better over time, much like Lamar has. But if he can pull this off, then Josh Allen is legendary in my book. Beating Lamar Jackson and beating Pat Mahomes back to back to get to the Super Bowl. I don't think there's an argument at that point, especially considering that his supporting cast is fairly mid at best. So this is a legacy defining game for Josh Allen. And if you're the Chiefs and you're Pat Mahomes, man, you're playing with house money. Another thing that's not being said enough is how much fatigue we have of the Chiefs. They're on the brink of all-time greatness right here. If they're able to get back to the Super Bowl, getting back alone will be all-time great. If they were to win it yet again, like I'm talking about Jaden having the greatest rookie season. If Pat wins another Super Bowl back-to-back like this, we're talking greatest quarterback potentially ever. People will throw Brady has more, da. Once again, if your argument is that this person has done something longer than the other person, and the person is still going, then you don't really have an argument. Like if Pat Mahomes wins 3 Super Bowls back to back, bruh, like that conversation becomes a lot closer than people are going to be willing to admit it is. So I think this is a huge legacy defining game for both. But I think Pat's playing with house money. I think if the Chiefs lose, it doesn't really damage the Chiefs or Pat Mahomes much at all. But if Josh Allen and the Bills lose, then it's the same old story for them of not being able to get past Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. So they got to get this done.
I want to stay there for a second. So you saying if Pat Mahomes wins this, he is the best quarterback of all time, but does it not matter how you perform, right? Because I mean, Pat Mahomes, the numbers really aren't there this year, right? The wins haven't really been in spectacular fashion, right? But you think that he's got a claim to be better than Brady if he wins this?
Yeah, with this would be the 3rd one in a row, right? They just went back to back. So if they go back to back to back, and this will put him at how many chips total? 3 or 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah, this will be his 4th one, 3 in a row. That's never been done. Look, I'm not saying that it is going to put him ahead of Brady definitively, but the people that aren't willing to have the conversation, they're going to have the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Good point. G, what you think, man? Chiefs, Bills, who you got coming out on top?
Man, I said they don't cover nothing at -6.5 or higher. It's -2. Give me the fucking Chiefs to cover that and take it to the Super Bowl. Not for nothing, man. If there's anything no one's ever been talking about, it's the Chiefs defense. This defense has gotten these guys this far. This defense, it's fucking legit. Steve Spagnuolo defense in the playoffs is legit. It's kind of hard to beat that man. And then you're telling me it's just Josh Allen by himself? Man, who's there going to stop any of those DNs from the Chiefs? Not that offensive line.
You don't believe in Deion Dawkins?
Fuck no. How many times haven't they beaten him up already? Pause. Man, listen, man. It's the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to his, what is it, third straight? Wait, no, wouldn't this be his fourth straight Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It would be the fourth straight one that he went to. Yeah.
No, because he lost one. Wait, but this will be his fifth straight of AFC championship game, though, right?
Nah, this is like his sixth or seventh. Let me put it to you like this. He's been to every AFC championship since my second son was born. My second son has not had a year on this earth that Pat Mahomes has not been in the AFC championship.
That's
bro.
crazy. That's what I'm saying.
That is nuts. I mean, give me not for nothing, man. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, unless it's those two in the AFC championship game going against each other, they ain't going to no Super Bowl.
Nah, it's three straight. This would be his third straight. They weren't in the Super Bowl the fourth year. It was the Bengals.
It was Bengals, okay.
Yeah.
So,
But they had it the year before that and the year before that. So they've been in the last 5 years, and if they make it this year, it'd be 5 out of 6.
yeah, but give me the
pretty
Chiefs.
dominant. Pretty
Give
dominant.
me the Chiefs, man. Is this defense? I forget what game it was, but they called a timeout in the beginning of the third quarter, and they showed the camera back at Andy Reid, and Andy Reid wasn't pissed. That's how I knew this squad was something different. Like they're going through that. It's the defense that's carrying this team, and they just need Patrick Mahomes to play solid offense. Don't throw no turnovers. Don't fumble, and just don't let us be on the field for too long, and we'll win this game for you. And that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get the redemption game because I think that's the only losses to the Bills this year, right?
Yeah, that's why I know that the Bills aren't going to win because they already won during the regular season. So you ain't going to beat that man twice.
Yeah,
in the same season. Hell no.
Hell no. Man, listen.
That's an interesting point there. But the Bills defense got a lot of players back over this last week or so. And that defense looked a little different versus the Ravens they had, over the last.
Yeah, but you got to think about it too, right? They got disrespected. They were the underdogs at their home. That's fuel to the fire. Like, how the fuck? That's the one thing that I thought that was weird going into last week's game. How were the Ravens favored in that stadium and not the Bills? But listen, in the fact that it was 1 point, 1.5, I think. See, more commie shit, man. A lot of commie shit going on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I was tuning out or whatever the hell you were saying. I'm reading these great comments about how Jaden Daniels drives up the ratings and Jedi 5 is the future. And I'm be honest, bro. I'm just ready to get into it now. I've been patient, but I'm ready to talk about this Commanders Eagles game, man. Yeah. I'm ready to hear the nonsense that Scruff is going to kick off, but I'm ready for it.
All right, let's get into it, Rose. You over there chomping at the bit. Let's do this, man. We're gonna start with you, Rome. Commanders Eagles, man. How you see it playing out, and what are the keys to victory for your commies?
Hey, so the key is to be. We gotta be realistic, right? Like I was talking about Saquon earlier, and I meant every word. Like he's all that and then some. So the key is going to be to contain him. You're not going to stop Saquon. Saquon is going to get his, but you got to contain him. And the Commanders' defense has to be what they've been all season, and that's opportunistic. They're like you said, Bryce. They're 18th ranked. They're not a great defense. They're not world beaters. Anybody that follows the Commanders, if you ask them what they need to improve on in the offseason, they're going to start throwing out some defensive positions. So the defense is going to have to do what they need to do, and that's capitalize on any mistakes made by Jalen Hurts in that offense. Get that ball back in Jaden's hands and let him do what he's been doing all season. The Commanders got the juice on offense. Whatever Cliff and Jaden are doing is working. They got to keep that going. The only thing that concerns me offensively going into this game is the Commanders did just lose Sam Cosmi, which is huge. I watch a lot of tape. Sam Cosmi has lost battles to Jalen Carter. He's won battles against Jalen Carter. They've been real chippy. I've seen them both pushing each other around after the whistle blows. They've had battles. So whoever ends up replacing Cosmi, who I believe could potentially be Trent Scott, maybe Chris Paul, they got a tall task going against Jalen Carter. It's not a favorable matchup. And that could honestly dwindle down to making a huge difference in this game is how they hold up against who probably the best defensive tackle in football right now in Jalen Carter. But despite that, I still like the Commanders' chances. I like how the running game got back on track last week with Brian Robinson. That's got to keep going. So I'm going to take the Commanders in this one, of course, by a field goal. Yes, that's right. I'm taking the Commanders by a field goal. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I'll put my left hand up to that. But yeah, I tend to agree with some of them points, man. Like I feel like, what gives me the most confidence coming into this game. Let me see. We're gonna give up the running yards, but we gotta stop the Saquon explosive plays. We can score now. Scott will be fine. 6'6", 307 pounds. Yeah, Trent. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Trent Scott scares me. All right. Now Trent Scott at guard, I'm way cooler with than Trent Scott at tackle. He's like our swing guard tackle. So he plays both positions, but I don't like seeing him at tackle. If he's at guard, I feel a little more comfortable. But it doesn't give me. I don't have confidence in it at all. And I do think Saquon will get his. The only problem is Saquon's going to need 260 and 3 touchdowns, bro. I don't know if he gets his to that degree, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because what I've been seeing from Jalen Hurts, I have not been impressed recently. In fact, I feel like he's regressed a bit as a passer. And I just feel like if you can make them one-dimensional, you got a really big shot to win this game. What I have the most confidence in, what I have more confidence in than anything else in the world right now is that my quarterback going to show up. I know that shit for a fact, bro. Like my quarterback is going to he's going to show up. He's going to be prepared. He's going to be ready to put 3 bills on you. He's ready to put 300 yards on you, total yards, rushing, receiving. He's ready to put 3 touchdowns on you, total touchdowns, rushing and receiving. So it's like you gotta prepare for that. And if the Eagles think they're going to be able to put up 24, 26 and get that dub, they got nothing coming for them, right? Let's not forget this is a divisional matchup. We've seen the Eagles. They've seen us. They beat us at their place. We beat them at ours. When we beat them at ours, yes, Jalen Hurts did go down in the first quarter, so we had to play Kenny Pickett. But let's not forget, we put up 33 points, 31 points? We put up 31 points, and we had 5 turnovers, bro. We put up 31 points with 5 turnovers against this vaunted defense that everybody loves. 5 turnovers and still put up 31. That's insane, bro. You put up 5 turnovers, dog. You're supposed to get blown out. You know what I'm saying? Even if you score 31, the other team's supposed to score 45, like we did to the Lions, right? But I'm not, because I feel like my quarterback's going to show up. I've got a lot of confidence in the Commanders' ability to win this game, and I do take the Commanders coming out of this one and head into the Super Bowl. Now, again, the wild card is Saquon Barkley. If he goes crazy, if we look at a legendary Saquon game where we talking about 250, a 70-yard tud, a 45-yard tud, this shit could get, it could be tough. But last team with the ball may be the team that wins here. And Commanders have a way of controlling possession to make sure they're the last team with the ball. And if it's Jaden Daniels with the last possession, nobody wants to see that. Scruff, let's hear your keys to the game for an Eagles victory.
Yeah, a few things for sure, man. As you mentioned, It's going to be similar to what I mentioned last week. You know, what y'all weaknesses. We talked about that running defense. That's going to be something that's going to be a key to the game. We talking about Saquon Barkley. We talking about script writing, storylines as far as that goes. The Saquon Barkley narrative, in some ways, many ways, it's been feeling like this is just a special year for Saquon. So, you know, I do expect him to show up big for this particular game against y'all run defense, which has not been good. So let's start with that. The injury in the middle of y'all offensive line is concerning. Let's just say that. Jalen Carter is one of those big players that you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with him. And yeah, maybe they're similar in weight, but the quickness that Jalen Carter has is insane. So we'll see what happens with that. Another key is going to be the secondaries. And I feel like that's going to be the difference in the game is the secondaries. So we talked about the Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, you know, playing, I guess, rusty, the offense passing game. They want to see more productivity. In my experience, us playing the Commanders, y'all had I was watching y'all game last week. There's a lot of people in your secondary who I never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all, you know, so I feel like it's just what the doctor ordered, us going against your secondary. So I feel like the passing game will rev up. I'm expecting a big day for A.J. Brown in particular. So I feel like that's going to play into the game. But all things said, I feel like the Eagles will win the game because they are the better team across the board. But, you know, Jaden Daniels is a good player and all that. But I feel like this is the end of the road right here. The difference is going to be the corners. Because, like I said, I believe y'all corners will be the death of this team. And our corners are going to stand up and hold it down to the best of their ability. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, yeah, sure, y'all got a good offense, no doubt. But we got pretty good corner, pretty good secondary, good pass rush. And I think we can make some things happen. And experience does matter. Even though, you know, I get it. Y'all feel great. Y'all take your quarterback against anybody. And I love that for you guys. But this is the first time he's stepping into this NFC championship game. First season in the league. You know what I'm saying? So with all due respect, you know, this team does have some experience being here, the Eagles. And I think that will play into this game as well. And I think that's the biggest thing that y'all not going to talk about or y'all don't want to talk about because that's the truest fact.
Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about experience in this game, in this atmosphere, because I think that's a good point. And I think you bring up an interesting point about our corners, who I think we have the better corner tandem than y'all do. All right, give me Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Sanders still against anybody.
Yes.
And I don't know if you watched the Commanders Lions game, but Sanders still had 2 picks, not 1 but 2. All right, that's big time. That's big time stuff from a rookie, man. And in addition to that, we've also got a really, really strong safety tandem in Jeremy Chin, who I'm sure you've heard of, and Quan Martin, who again picked 6 against the Lions, right? So I'm not so worried about our corners. And if we start talking about, you know, that championship pedigree that you seem to be alluding to, I will say that continuity, right, in the championship pedigree, you guys have the edge. But let's not forget, man, our middle linebacker goes by the name of Bobby Wagner. That man is a 2-time champion, and he's a leader of our defense. The leader of your defense name is Zach Bond. He was damn near cut last season from the Saints. All right, don't get me wrong. He's had a resurgence with y'all, but all I know is that the game-winning touchdown, we made sure we targeted Zach Bond when we played y'all at home. We made sure that Zach Bond was a target in coverage. So for everything that Zach Bond is in the run game, I'm not sure I trust him in coverage. Considering that
you living on the brand Bobby Wagner. That's what you're talking about. Bobby Wagner is much removed from his best years, buddy.
What are you talking about? Bobby Wagner was a second-ranked linebacker of PFF all season. So Bobby Wagner is playing at an all-time high right now.
Second team All Pro. Second team All Pro.
Great.
That's a fact.
Who just for the record, Ron? Who was first?
Not Zach Braun.
Oh, okay. You sure about that?
He was first team All Pro this year?
think he was.
Pretty sure.
Oh, that's surprising.
But
Hey,
you're the one,
okay, well,
you're the one that said, you're the one that
if
said
we're throwing out
Byron Leftwich
accolades,
playing good. When in
when
fact,
they
No,
when they
I'm not throwing out accolades. You threw
when they
them
hang
out, and
when they hang him up when they hang
you
him
threw
up,
out
who's gonna get
accolades,
the
and just
gold
so happened
jacket?
that my guy has better accolades than your guy. That's funny.
Better accolades than a Hall of Famer.
Hey, this
Like
season,
you're the one who's acting like Buddy's past his prime. He's a second team
you
All
acting like
Pro.
you acting like he the guy that he the same guy that played for the Seahawks, bro. This is the 7. That was like what 8 years
no,
ago.
you know what?
Bro.
He's not far
he's
removed.
smarter. He's a much smarter guy than that played for the Seahawks. And you know
Fuck
what?
that
He won a
shit, man.
championship
That
with the
dude's like
Seahawks.
he's like 36, bro. The
No, he's
dude's
not 36. He's 33. He's probably younger than you. First of all, second of all,
I'm not playing linebacker,
Second of all, that guy is a second team All Pro. So if you finish the season as an All Pro, I don't want to hear anybody tell me that he's not playing. What are you talking about? He's not playing what? He's an All Pro linebacker. In addition to that,
dinosaur.
In addition to that, he's not the only All Pro we have in our linebacker corps. You know who else we got? Frankie Louvu. And Jalen Hurts knows all about that guy. All right. Jalen Hurts knows Frankie Louvu very well. You know why he knows him so well? Because he got his ass knocked out of the game by Frankie Louvu last time he played him. All right. And Eagles fans been crying about that all week. Talking about watch out for Louvu. Watch out for Louvu. He's a dirty player. Yeah, all right, man. Yeah. Louvu's a savage, bro. Louvu don't give a damn about nothing.
All right, man. Y'all start being in your feelings, man. Listen, man. The only way the Eagles win this shit is Jalen Hurts stays healthy. That's the only thing that's gonna.
Jalen Hurts already not healthy.
Listen, you shut the fuck up. You talked y'all bullshit already. I'm tired of hearing y'all going back and forth saying the same shit again in repetitive circles. Fuck. Listen, for the Eagles, it's this simple. Can Jalen Hurts stay healthy? You really don't. The last 2 times Saquon played in this game, he averaged over 148 yards. The second game was 150. The first game was 146, I believe, with 2 tubs. The last game was only a tub with the 150. So in the last game, Jalen Hurts only threw for 4 passes before he got concussion, I believe. So really, the Eagles just need Jalen Hurts to stay healthy in this game. You really don't need him to throw more than 220. You just need him to play all game long because the Eagles can't afford to let this game become a passing game. Because at this point, the Eagles are going to they're going to end up doing what the Ravens did with the Bills last game, and that's what literally the Eagles don't want. If you're the Eagles, you let this be a ground and pound game. You let Saquon just get you 150, kill the clock, and you let Jalen Hurts basically do what rookies do, and that's it.
So you gotta make Jalen Hurts a rookie to win the game, basically.
Not Jalen Hurts.
Jaden Daniels. You know this man don't know how to talk.
Oh, but what you mean Jaden Daniels do what rookies do? Because Jaden Daniels doesn't do what rookies do. Like that's the whole point of Jaden Daniels, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna give it a stat. Rookie quarterbacks are 0-5 in these conference games. I'm gonna go with what the trend tells me, and I'm not gonna take no rookie in this game. Not for nothing. Next, if this was the second year, then I would have taken him. But
this is the take that infuriates me, bro.
Because it's gonna be a repeat of what happened. What is it? 3 years ago, the start of this run for the Chiefs, this 3-peat run. That's what we're gonna watch, and they're gonna close it with the Eagles. I got the Eagles and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I don't even want to say that garbage. I just threw up in my mouth saying that shit.
These ridiculous takes from people like G, bro, talking about, oh, well, I'm just going to go with the trend because no rookie quarterback has ever done it. Bro, before a rookie quarterback made it to the AFC, to the conference championship, no rookie quarterback had ever made it to the conference championship, bro.
That's
all these records are meant to be broken, bro. Bro. There's no way that your eyes and what you have seen from anything that you know about football, G, has told you that there's any reason to go with a rookie trend when it comes to Jaden Daniels. If there's a rookie trend and you're talking Jaden Daniels, you should be betting that he's gonna break that trend. Like that's what you should be leaning towards, not they're 0-5 in these games, so Jaden Daniels is gonna follow suit. Like he's gonna do what rookies do. He hasn't done what rookies do all year.
The real only trend that matters is the Super Bowl logo trend, which is that every year the Super Bowl logo,
year, my buddy.
the color, what?
It got debunked last year.
Well, they're going back to it this year. It's green and red, man. Chiefs and Eagles, man. I'm telling you.
Nah, man. Nobody wants a repeat of that bullshit anyway. It's gonna be a repeat of the 91 season. Bills, Commanders.
Hey, listen, man. I'll say this, man. I don't see Jaden Daniels performing the way that G is predicting he'll perform. Like, if you watch Jaden Daniels this season, and I get the guy that just posted, we beat the Lions practice squad defense. I get that. But don't forget, we played the Eagles, that same defense y'all be sucking, right? And we had 5 turnovers, and we still beat them, bro. Jaden Daniels still found a way to beat them.
Talking about a game with our backup quarterback. That don't even
But
count.
was it your backup defense?
No, but when
bro.
when your offense, hey, Bryce, bro, you know that if your offense ain't really moving the ball like that, the defense is on the field more, which ends up tiring them out, which ends up, meaning time of possession.
Right.
What was the time of possession in the game?
And I'll tell you this: if Jalen Hurts, that same Jalen Hurts that showed up against the Rams, that guy that throws for 128 yards, if that guy shows up against the Commanders, it's night, bro. It's a wrap, bro. I said this same thing last game too. He just happened to get hurt, and I wish he didn't get hurt because we would have won that game regardless. I really wish he didn't get hurt. But like I told y'all, while I was watching the Rams play the Eagles, I had an epiphany. I realized there's no better matchup for us than the Eagles right now, bro. You know why? Because Jalen Hurts, he's not a passer, bro. He's a 128-yard kind of guy, bro. He's a 200-yard kind of guy. And I got a 300-yard kind of guy. So I'm taking my 300-yard guy over your 200-yard guy any day.
How quickly they forget, man, when the days when we was over here at FedEx Field and I was getting terrorized by Jalen Hurts. And that time's coming right back, bro. It's going to be in Philly, and y'all boys about to be sick, man. I'm telling y'all.
Okay, here you go, right? Here you go. 179, 118, 108, 290. 11.
Are these the passing yards?
131, 128. Those are Jalen's last 7 games, bro. Please, if that guy shows up, we Gucci, bro. The 128 guy, if the 111, the 131, the 118, if that guy tries to show up, it's perfect, bro. It's perfect timing. As my guy Shador said.
All right, man, listen, sir. Just make sure you on this show next week with that stupid ass hat and not that stupid ass Wizards hat. That's all I want.
Bro, I'm gonna have this hat on. I'm gonna have this shirt on, and I'm gonna have my. I ain't even gonna go there, but I'm gonna have everything. I'm gonna have all my skin shit on. Just know that.
So let's talk about let's talk. Since you want to bring up stats, Bryce, and you want to bring up his last 7 games, let's bring up the games he played against the Commanders, right? So the last game he played against Commanders, obviously he got hurt, right? But the one before that, he had 221. Before that, 319, and then before that, 319.
We're talking about
and before that, 340, and before that, 296.
So we're
talking
about
want to hear about it.
Now we're talking about previous seasons, right? Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah, because we have that. We have experience. Other than you got it just got into the league yesterday, and now he on a hot streak, and now y'all think he Jesus Christ.
Bro, your man didn't throw for 3,000 yards this year, bro.
He did it. I just noticed that. It was
hey,
two.
Bro,
two
say what you want. Your man
something.
Cool 2,900, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care. I really don't care if we're winning games, bro. I really don't care. That's what you got to do.
Hey, 2,900-yard passer versus 3,600-yard passer that's going to give you 900 yards on the ground. Good luck containing Jaden Daniels.
Hey, Nick, next week you better have that stupid-ass Eagle hat, Philly green, and I'm not going to be here because I ain't watching no Super Bowl next week. I'm a sad motherfucker right now, man. I can't believe
get the fuck out of here with them Giants anyway, man.
But y'all can't beat me, man. I want to fight all you 3 fucks. I want to fade. I'm going to see y'all.
My man just smoking his depression away.
That's it, for real.
Oh, now he was out 3 games. How many games did Jalen Hurts miss this year? I only remember Kenny Pickett in 1.
Oh yeah, this guy coming.
I only remember Kenny Pickett in 1, bro. How many games did he miss this year?
Hey, he calling you a casual.
nowhere
this
near
guy's
the Eagles
lying about how many
roster.
games this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but he's lying about how many games Jalen Hurts missed and calling me a casual. Jalen
Yo,
Hurts
I'm
played
ahead of
16
fellas.
games.
Have a good one,
This
man.
season,
Yo, first of all,
No,
what-
15. He played 15, so he missed 2. Guess who
Hey,
missed more than that?
Ladies and
Guess who missed
gentlemen,
more than that?
ladies,
Jaden Daniels missed more than that, buddy.
Is it going over 47?
Hold on. I got to address this guy. Who is this guy? AK-47. I can't even read his name, but he's about to get eviscerated.
Daz. His
He's about to
name's
get
Daz.
Is who?
Hey, hit that subscribe button, man, my guy.
He's about to get eviscerated because he's lying. And now you lying, buddy. Your man played 15 games, bro. Good try.
This is the most active I've ever seen Sleepy Bryce. Look at him.
Hey, listen, man. Say what you want, G. But guess what, G? I want you on the show next week, buddy.
I'll be here.
Don't cower. Don't cower. Don't
cower. Hey,
don't cower, G.
Just make sure man, we had a running back next week. Just make sure I know one person for sure. I know I ain't gonna hear. I know Rome. He gonna be ghost.
I ain't no ghost.
We ain't gonna hear from Rome. If they lose, we ain't gonna hear from Rome. We ain't gonna hear from Rome, bro, until February.
Look, I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. We ain't losing. So you're gonna hear a lot of Rome from now until February.
Rome might be silent till next season.
Nah, look, honestly, I said Commanders by 3 earlier.
This is the delusion I'm talking about. Delusion of grandeur.
I'm just saying, bro. Bryce bringing up them passing stats because I knew it was bad for Jalen. I knew he had gone backwards. I didn't realize he was under 3,000.
Football ever? All right, man. Good night, guys.
Nah, you know what? You know why they mad? I'm gonna tell you why they mad. And I gave everybody the opportunity weeks ago. I say, yo, y'all can come to the party now. Y'all can be late to the party, and I'll tell you how lit it's been, right? But let me tell you what Jaden Daniels is, bro. Let me tell you what Jaden Daniels is like. It's like drafting Michael Jordan out of UNC, bro. All right, who went number 1 overall? It wasn't Michael Jordan when he came out. It was fucking Sam Bowie, all right? Somebody got to draft Sam Bowie, and we just happened to draft Michael Jordan, bro.
Wait, Michael Jordan wasn't third? Was he third?
Maybe. I don't know. But my point is, we drafted MF and Michael Jordan, bro. That's what we drafted, dog. Your man is a prodigy. Your man is generational. All the words you want to use it for Jaden Daniels. I ain't even want to have to get on here and pop my shit like this, but now I got to pop my shit, bro. Every word you want to use that describes the best of a generation is what Jaden Daniels is, dog. So get used to it. Get used to it.
Y'all talking on the side of y'all neck. I'm gonna say this to y'all now, and just remember when I said it next week. And I'm gonna continue to come how I'm gonna come. But just remember, it's a blessing to stay humble, man. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And the way y'all talking crazy right now. I don't know. I really am curious to see how this is gonna turn out for y'all.
All right. I mean, you know how it's gonna turn out for us either way? An NFC Championship appearance in the rookie year, in my quarterback's rookie year. That's how it's great. That's how it's turned out for us.
Which is great. Like honestly, that's great. Great experience for you guys. Like I said,
it's not a great experience for you guys. It's the start of a dynasty for you guys. And I get it. I get your condescending. I see how you condescend. Great experience for you guys. Nah, kiss my ass. Ain't no great experience. It's over for the division. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. Y'all now they making me pop my shit wrong. Now they making me pop. It's a wrap, bro. Put a bow on it. Jalen Hurts probably got 2 more years max with the Eagles. And remember, when we come back to this, remember the good mister told you that Jalen Hurts got 2 years max with the Eagles before Philly runs him out of town for Tanner McGee or whatever that boy's name is.
They in the comments saying Hurts is a turbo Honda Civic.
He's a running back, man. He's a running back.
I'm gonna have a field day with this one, man. I'm gonna get back in my editing bag for sure with this one. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Hey, make sure you get in that editing bag when y'all lose too, man.
He won't do that, Rome. He won't get in that.
Nah, Rome. Rome. I see you do that now, so you can do that for yourself. So.
I guarantee you he won't get in the editing bag with that. He'll forget all about the edits when that happens.
Nah, exactly. I'm not about to make no shit for y'all. Fuck out of here.
Nah, it'll be a good one though, man. It'll be a good one. All-time classic right here.
Yeah,
the Eagles
right.
better make sure it's an all-time classic. I know that. Because if Jalen Hurts comes out throwing for 128, it will not be an all-time classic. It'll be an all-time drubbing. All right? It'll be that's what it'll be.
Hey,
Just like that Lions game. And everybody will be like, damn, how did that happen?
Hey, I'll just say this, man, because at the end of the day, we probably gonna be together watching this game, and I just want to say that before the game, whatever happens in the game, man, we dogs no matter what. Man. I just want to let y'all know that. We dogs no matter
definitely.
what, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
I know
But
some because I know somebody's both teams are hopeful to win this game, and somebody's gonna have to come out a loser, and that's just a fact.
That is true.
To Bryce's point though, as a Commanders fan, and I'm not hedging any bets. Like my team has already come out on top. Like we've like being here in the conference championship. Nobody picked us here to be here. A lot of the fans of the team didn't even think we'd make it this far. So like this is a dub.
We'll see. All right, man. We'll see. Nothing else to be said other than, we'll see you guys next week. And we'll revisit this topic.
Hey, 3
Yes,
p.m., man. On to Philly.
All right.
Sports for the culture.
You know how we end every show? Sports for the culture.